Hi, I'm Jocelyn Manzanarez with Musically Minded, and today I want to talk with you about how to integrate more movement into your circle times, but in a way that won't make your kids or you go crazy. So here's the thing. A lot of teachers have their kids sitting for 20 minutes at circle time. Now that's probably not you, but hopefully as you model movement at circle time, you can show others why and how it is so important to have your kids move at circle time. So first off, let's just talk about why it is so important. So when we're sitting for an extended amount of time, whether you are 3 or 93, blood pools in our feet and in our seat. The problem is we then don't have any blood that's oxygenated up to our brain that's allowing us to think. And so what our brain does is starts to get a little anxious. It starts to move and fidget, and in little ones, they'll just get up and leave, or they might start punching on their friend next to them, or maybe create a dog pile in the middle of the circle time. These are classroom management issues that you don't actually have to deal with. So instead, what I suggest is for you to infuse movement every 3 to 5 or even 7 minutes, depending on your group, throughout your circle time. It is going to increase engagement and decrease behavior issues. So let's go through 3 different types of movement activities that you can use at circle time. Now, if you are currently not doing much movement at circle time, because let's be honest, the thought of 20 plus kids moving around at the same time sounds awful, I think you'll love number 1. So number 1 is stationary movement. What that means is the kids stand up and they stay on their spot to do the movement. They're not moving around the room. Now this is pretty safe because all they've got to do is making sure they're maintaining their own personal space in their spot. But we're benefiting them because they're still going to be elevating their heart rate and of course oxygenating that blood and getting that brain ready to refocus again. And so the sort of movements that we might be able to do with stationary movement are jumping and hopping, standing on one foot, turning around in a circle. Now, I've got a song called Touchin' Toes by Musically Minded that I also link to in the notes below. And all you'll need to do is turn that on, and it has the kids touching their eyes and their ears and their nose and their head and their knees and their toes. And they turn around and they stand on their tippy toes. And so by doing that, we're getting the benefit of movement, but without having it be something where the kids might be moving all around and having extra classroom management issues. The next type of movement activity that you might be able to bring to your circle times is called an ABA form. So this is just a simple pattern, and it's found in a lot of different songs. Now the way it works is A might be staying where you are, sort of stationary, and then B might be moving around the room. Now my suggestion for a fun one for this is I Like to Ride My Horse by Kathy Ride Newman. And what happens is we bounce and bounce and bounce on our horses. We're staying in place. And then the song tells us to head on out and gallop around. And then of course our A part comes back. We're back home in our barn and we're bounce and bounce and bounce. And that ABA pattern goes back and forth. Now the reason that'll help with classroom management is this song will do the work for you. So you don't need to tell kids, oh, no, stop, stop, stop. They'll just know, and of course you'll be modeling that right alongside them to know that it's time to stop again. It also helps to build in a little bit of calm down time within that song so the kids don't get too wound up. Now the third suggestion I have, if you have done quite a bit of movement with your kids and they are comfortable with their own personal space, would be stop and start songs. These are plentiful. You'll be able to find a ton of these. The great thing about stop and start games is they're going to work on listening because the children have to know when to stop when the music stops, as well as self-control because they'll also need to make sure and freeze their bodies, freeze their muscles. It helps with balance and overall body awareness. So the song I have for that is a Musically Minded original called Jump Along Josie. And this one has the kids moving in all sorts of different ways. But when we come to our part where we freeze, we stop and we wait. And the song begins again. What I also love about this song is I've built into the very end a slow down in the tempo. It eases us down, so by the end of the song, your kids will be sitting and ready to learn. Have fun!